All right, here we got the 2009 Ducati 1198. This thing is just absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's hard not to see in a world of in a world of white and black and gray cars, you love to see some motorcycles with some color. We got this beautiful red Ducati. Look at that Triumph back there. Just absolutely gorgeous. I love the colors. Got the little Honda right there. This is a fun garage to be in. This is Steve's garage, and man, he has some toys. I will go into detail about this 1198. I'm very excited to show you guys, but just look at some of this. We got a BMW R100. Of course, we got the Triumph here. Just gorgeous. I love this blue. Just gorgeous. And then the CBX. Steve says the CBX is just a little over 3,000 miles. Hard to believe. 1984, you said? 83. Yeah. That's the 6-cylinder. And they say on this bike, there's no better sounding bike than this bike. Almost sounds like an F1 car? Yeah. Yeah, I hear people talk about that all the time. I love to see flyby shots of that. We got a little CB360 back there, a little cafe. I had one of these, but it had a drum brake in the front. I always wanted the disc brake in the front. CB350 had the 4-cylinder. The CB360 was the twin. Cool little bike. Absolutely love it. All right, so back to our main attraction, this 1198. Steve has had this bike about 10 years, you said? Yeah. Yeah. Put a bunch of miles on it. He's done the valves once through Ducati service. He says that he's thinking about doing the next one with his buddy who's a mechanic. Absolutely love this bike. So it's fun to look at this bike. So, you know, this being a 2009, right? So how many years is that? It's 15 years old now? No, more than that, 17 years old. So you and me, we know they've had the 1198. We know we've had a few different versions of the V4. But your neighbor, your mom, your sister, your coworkers, all they know is you've got a Ducati. This is just an absolute beautiful bike. You know, you ride, I've said this in some of my other videos, you ride some of the other bikes and people say, you still got that crotch rocket? But when you got a Ducati, people say, hey, you still got your Ducati? And there's just a level of respect that comes with it. It's just an absolutely gorgeous bike. So let's look at this. Look at the single-sided swing arm. I mean, that is just like the absolute money shot, right? And we are now living in an era where now Ducati is making bikes now kind of like the 999 era where they're not making the single-sided swing arm anymore. So, I mean, this is just, would you buy a brand new Ducati when you can get this? I mean, just look at that money shot. I was thinking the other day, just like, of course it makes sense that they make the single side on this side, right? How stupid would that be if it was on the other side, right? The kickstand, like you couldn't really see it well. It's tipped like the perfect way. You just see it just absolutely perfect. So this one is the 1198 was one of the last iterations of the V-twin. So you just got the 2-cylinder there. Steve said he did put the open clutch cover on there, so that's like super cool. A lot of the new V4s, you might have the V4R that is the dry clutch, but this era of Ducatis, they were all dry clutch, right? So if you see a normal V4 of today or a V4S, that's gonna be a wet clutch. So I always thought it was kind of odd when people put like the clear clutch covers on the bikes, because I think they're trying to emulate this era of a bike, and it's not real, right? Unless you really have a true dry clutch. He's got the Termi exhaust. I can't wait to hear that. I have not heard the bike yet. And he says he's got it wrapped for obvious reasons. Like on my V4, you know, that exhaust is a little bit different. It's hung lower. I only got real hot on the one side, on my right leg, on the inner thigh. And Steve says, no, this one, you're hot on both sides. His son, Jack, is here. Jack says 3,500 RPMs is kind of where this bike likes to be, that and higher. That's where the bike really comes alive. And they both say below that, you know, it's not fun to ride 8 miles an hour going through traffic. I mean, Steve says, you know, at a track day, he has ridden this on the track. He says that's where the bike just really comes alive, and it's the bike that you want when it's on the track. When it's on the street or when you're going slow, when you're in traffic, it is not the bike you want. I'm gonna have Steve start it up here.
Sure. It's noisy.
I was motioning to Steve, hey, go ahead and cut it off. That's enough. And I don't know if he knew what I was saying, so he just kept revving it. But I'm not complaining. I got behind it, and he was revving it, and it was blowing. I'm sure I smell. My wife is, you know, she's gonna know where I was tonight.
The dry clutch noise always makes people scratch their head.
Oh yeah, if you don't know what it is, or if it's the first time you're hearing it, you're like, what's rattling in that can, or what's going on there? After you've been around for a while, there's no better sound. I just absolutely love that.
People are like, what's wrong with the bike?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Can you show us your integrated taillights?
For sure.
I thought that was a super cool feature. So it's not just right here. I think that's super cool, but then he put an extra bulb in that little vent there. That was awesome. Very cool. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I'm sure I'm going to lose people's interest here. Just absolute gorgeous bike. If you guys like this video, please do give me a like and more importantly, a subscribe. I've got about 1,000 subscribers now. And this will be the first video I've ever asked for a subscriber. So I'm actually going to make a real run at growing the channel, showing some bikes, meeting people like Steve, showing Steve's other bikes and his son Jack's bike. Really interested in that CBX and of course that Triumph. But yeah, give me a subscribe so I can show you more of these. Help grow the channel. Really do appreciate it. All right, till the next time.